Hey everybody, it's Matt from the house, and I'm here with Mike from Ride, and we're going to give you a little sneak peek of the 22-23 season Ride products. Let's check this stuff out. Hey Mike,
How
good
you
to
doing?
see you again, buddy.
Good to see you.
Another year, another freezing cold day here at Welch Village to show everybody some new fun stuff, eh?
Right.
We're going to start things off with Ride. You can't do much more famous boards than the Pig Series. So we've got obviously the War Pig, which kind of started the whole thing off. And that's kind of that all mountain, go anywhere, do anything board. You can ride it pretty much park to pow, right?
Right.
This is one of your favorites too, isn't it?
One of my favorites. It's one of our team favorites as well. One of those boards that's one good wood for all mountain and park, which is super rad, so back to back.
You'd be really surprised at how well this thing rides switch, just because the stance, it is centered up on the side cut. It might not be centered up from tip to tail, but when you ride this thing on the flat snow, it feels more like a twin tip board than you would think. And then also, you got the Super Pig there.
Super Pig, so no change on this bad boy, but just adding a little bit of camber to it, some more carbon. We've got a carbon infused race base, so it means you are gonna go fast.
If you've been riding the War Pig for a while, or if you like the idea of the War Pig and you just want something that's very, very aggressive, a lot quicker than the Super Pig, is basically what you want to go with.
Right.
And then if you are riding park all day, but you do want to spend some time riding outside of the park, then you've got the Twin Pig. So very, very similar to the War Pig and the Super Pig, but it's a asymmetrical twin tip shape. And this one does downsize. These ones you downsize about 6 to 10 centimeters.
6 to 10.
This one is 3 to 6 centimeters. So you are still downsizing a little bit. It's going to feel like a little bit bigger board. But again, it's that twin tip board for riding the park.
Outside of the park, it feels really good. That asymmetrical side cut, if you're a carver and you want a twin, is super handy because it's real quick, edge to edge.
This thing's a 50, I'm riding this thing today. 54, I'm gonna check this thing out today for sure.
Yeah.
And then of course, with the Pig Series, we've got a couple other boards. We've got the Psycho Candy, which is the only one that doesn't have pig in the name, but this was kind of brought down. Originally, it was supposed to be kind of a women's version of the War Pig, but a lot of the guys like the idea of having that little smoother, easier feel.
Right.
So now the Psycho Candy's got a couple more sizes for the guys too, for those bigger guys.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, I like to say, strong enough for a man but built for a woman. Softer nose, we're still flat underfoot. You've got rolling slime wall, but for the guys that don't want that kind of hockey quick edge to edge story, maybe a little bit more fluid riding style, that's where this comes in.
And then from there, for those guys that like to free ride and just go hard, we've got the Mountain Pig.
Similar to what we had in the line before with the Ultra Ego, but we unlocked that back end. So now you've got a rudder style back end. So even though this is a hard charging board, you've got a lot of carbon in the back end. With that rudder, it's gonna help out in the powder, but on a normal groom run, it's just gonna influence you a little bit more to push harder on that tail and pop out of turns.
Okay, next up we got a few kind of all mountain park boards. Basically, if you like to ride everywhere, but you maybe spend 50% of your time or more riding the park, but you still want that all mountain versatility, we got a couple of boards. We got the Bench Warmer, and we also have the Women's Saturday. Pretty cool boards. The Saturday's been in the lineup for a while now, hasn't it? It's become a crowd favorite.
Right, definitely for the ladies that are looking to go anywhere and everywhere. This is one of those boards. This year, again, some cool statements on it. A little cool look, and just that it's great to be swell and everybody going out with positive vibes. One of those boards that you can take anywhere, take everywhere.
Awesome. And then the Bench Warmer, which this one was kind of a big board to come out last year.
Yeah. A
lot of people were super stoked on it, and we obviously have another amazing graphic this year.
Yeah. So this is a little collaboration with CC Coffee out of Oregon. Close friends with them. We've got a binding as well that matches back to that.
I didn't even look at the base of that thing.
Yeah, if you get a chance, you love coffee. If you love coffee, you got to try their coffee. This is kind of, again, that all mountain freestyle story. So if you're out there, you're just cruising the hill, this is wonderful because you got that asymmetrical story.
Awesome. And for those guys that like to ride park most of the time, or even if you just want a good park board, this board actually does come in another version called the Zero, which is basically like a little bit softer, more park focused style of ride. And then obviously if you are spending a lot of time riding outside the park, I'd say 50% of the time or more outside the park, then you can go to the Bench Warmer. Okay, now for a little bit more of your traditional all mountain boards, we've got the Algorithm, which has been absolutely crushing it. And then with the success of that board, we've now introduced the Shadowban. This thing looks amazing. Like, that graphic is insane.
Yeah, so having great success with the algorithm, this is going to be a little bit heftier price point. This is one of our boards that started out with our pre-cured glass that's in there, so out of Utah, so it's a lot lighter, poppier, snappier. That freestyle centered story, as well as all mountain centered. A very clean looking board. This is that one guy that wants a little bit more carbon, a little bit more pop in his riding. We had done so well with this board that we wanted to introduce a new board this year, which is the Shadowban. This is going to be like the little brother to the algorithm. Not as much carbon. So here you've got Carbon Array 5, you've got Carbon Array 3. It's a little bit more user-friendly, across the board winner for somebody who's not looking to go the biggest that they've ever gone, but wants a real comfortable, good feeling board.
Yeah, they look super, super good. And again, these are basically, you want that one board, all mountain, go anywhere, do anything. If you're an aggressive rider, you go here. But if you're just kind of that more traditional all-around rider, you go here. And just because you spend more, it doesn't mean it's better, but you do get more. Okay, and then we got a couple Freeride boards. So those guys that just like to go out and charge hard. We got the smoke screen, which you guys introduced. Was it last year or was it the year before? It was last year.
So basically, talking about that shape, this is where we brought in. We've got our high-end board, which is called the Commissioner, which runs a hefty price tag. You've got a lot of features in it. Everybody really liked that board and that shape. So what we did is we've had the Wildlife in our past line. It is no longer, so this is the new play on it, but we gave it that Commissioner shape, so it's kind of got that one-of-a-kind look to it. It is a hybrid directional snowboard, so you've got a big section reverse camber in the nose, small in the back, camber underneath the foot. Kind of more or less for that dude that just wants to get out and carve. He's not trying to impress anybody in the park.
And then this one, this is a new board for this year.
Jake Blauvelt's second edition board. So we've got him on a Berserker, and this is one that he's been working with Michael Chilton for a long time. The cool part about this is a volume shift. It is also a shape story. This definitely doesn't mean that it's only a powder board. So even having that crescent moon in the back, this is one of those boards that's kind of pitted right up there with like Super Pig and everything else. A little wider platform, but then it also has that thin wall with carbon tip to tail. You got Carbon Array 5, and it also has a carbon race base. Just a little bit different shape. It's gonna help out in the powder, but it also rips on groomers.
Okay, so we're gonna check out the Ride bindings now, which they've got a big upgrade over the last couple of years. And a little cool thing with this is you can really fine tune how to pick out your bindings, because you are gonna see numbers in all of them. You're seeing A4, C6, A8. As you go up in those numbers, you actually get a little bit stiffer ride. So depending on the number, lower is softer, a higher number is a stiffer binding. But then on top of that, we also have A and C in every single version, which refers to the base plate.
But we wanted to offer something that was going to give a rider, or a specific rider, a different feel. So throughout the line, we're starting all the way down at the 2s, we go up to the 10s. All of the bindings are going to have aluminum heel cups, so you can adjust for size. We've got aluminum. That is our tried and true, aggressive, more responsive, quicker edge to edge. Now somebody, if they want that same kind of feature set that was up there, but they want a damper feel and they want a little bit more fluid flex, that's what you're going to get on the C's. So composite story, we're offering you 2 bindings with the same features. So if you grab a C8 like you got here, you grab a A8, you're gonna have the same kind of features. So your ankle straps, your toe straps, and your high back are gonna be the same. The difference is going to be whether you want a little bit more performance-based chassis or a damper flexing chassis.
Right. All right, Mike. Thanks again. I can't wait for this stuff to actually come in and start shipping in the fall. But if you've got any questions about this stuff, about the stuff that we've got coming in, or if you're watching this next fall when we actually have the products in, hopefully they won't get stuck on a boat like everybody's stuff did this year. But if you got any questions, leave some comments down below. We're on there every single day trying to answer your questions. We want to make sure we get you into some rad gear, but most importantly, we want to make sure it's actually going to fit your riding style. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and definitely get that notification bell on too, so you can find out when all the new videos drop. And no matter what kind of bindings you like to ride or what kind of board you like to ride, grab that one that fits your riding style and get out and ride, because any day of riding is a good day of riding. And I just said the word ride like 20 times in 2 minutes, but dig trenches and float a lot in the POW.
Right? That's gonna screw it up.
That's what editing's for.
All right.